Hello everybody, my name's Hocus Pocus, and welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. This is episode 67, and if you're with me for the last episode, you'll remember that we came back into the silo room here, that we've been working on for a few episodes now, and we went ahead and got the design organised, and I have to say, this room is looking very cool indeed. So before we move on today, I just wanted to quickly ask you guys a question. And that question is, did any of you end up downloading the world from episode 50? And if the answer to that question is yes, then I'd like you to leave your experiences with that down in the comments below, just so that I can get a little bit of a grasp if any of you did bother to do that, which, I mean, I'm not going to be upset if none of you did, so don't worry about that. But if any of you out there did decide to download the world and checked it out, then please do let me know how you found it. So for today's episode, once again, no real concrete plans about what we're going to do. Of course, we got this organised last episode, and between episodes I've been shearing the wool off of the sheep a little bit just to bring the stocks up ever so slightly, and we now have a fair amount of wool in each of these chests. As you can see, we've got almost a stack in a few places. So that was it really. Aside from that, I was just doing a bit of harvesting. I came out into the ravine area with some shears, and I also took down some of the vines because we were running semi-low on those, so I thought I'd do a harvest off camera. As you can see, they are in the process of regrowing. So we haven't really got up to much at all, just a bit of harvesting here and there, boring stuff that you guys probably don't want to see anyway. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take a quick look around as I usually do, figure out what we're going to do for this episode, and then we can jump right into it. So I've decided that today we're going to be over here at the Dark Oak Tree Farm doing a little bit of work, and you may be wondering what there is to do over here because it does look kind of complete when you're looking at the tree farm itself. However, if you take a bit of a closer look, you can see the ceiling is very incomplete. This wall here is also very incomplete. As you can see, we did work on this, but for some reason I just forgot to take this all the way to the ceiling. So no idea what happened there. My brain probably wasn't 100% focused when we were doing it. That might have been the issue. And also, we kind of need to go ahead and remove all of the stone that is blocking the view from the tree farm across to the other side of the ravine. Because if you remember rightly, I think I've discussed this before, that I do want a glass pane fixture that runs between this post here and that post there, so that we can see from out of the tree farm, and wow, we can see into the tree farm from outside, so down in the little, I guess it's kind of like a lobby area down there, and we can also see down into that area from inside of the tree farm. So we've got a little bit that we can decide to fiddle around with here, and I guess what I'll do is I'll just jump into something, and usually, as we do, I'll bring you back in for updates every now and again, and we'll just see where this takes us. Progress is coming along okay with the demolishing of the stone that lies between the window that we will eventually put into the tree farm and the ravine itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some of the dark oak because there are a few things we need to fill in here and there. We're also going to bring over some of the light grey stained glass panes because I think that's what we're going to use to fill in the glass, or use for the window I should say, because I think the light grey works well with the colours that we have. Of course, we're using a lot of greys and some deep browns and some greens, and I think the grey fits in very well with that theme, so that's what we're going to be using. First things first though, we should probably just fill in this pillar here, because it needs to be wood, like so, and that matches up correctly with that side of the room. And then, of course, we do need to continue destroying the stone that lies between the window and the ravine itself, as I said. However, there isn't much more to go, and once we've done that, we can hopefully begin to put the glass panes in. Are you guys ready for the grand reveal? Because if you are, then come right this way. There it is. There's the big pane of glass that separates the ravine itself from the tree farm, and I have to say I'm quite pleased with how it looks. In my head it turned out okay, and it also turned out okay in real life. The only thing that I am a little bit concerned about is, see how this pillar here doesn't line up with this one, so we might have to push that back maybe one block and organize what is going on here. Actually, we could think about doing that right now. Here, if we take this out, I would like this pillar to be right there, and in that case it will line up with this one, as you can see. And the only reason I say that is because on this side this pillar lines up perfectly with this one, so it doesn't look right to have this one slightly offset. So what we're gonna have to do is figure out something here. So maybe we could have like 1, 2, 3, pillar 1, 2, 3, pillar 1, 2. No, 1, 2, 3. We could just remove this one altogether, I guess, and have a huge wall of that grey texture that we use continuously throughout the base. So we'd have to put in a slab there. This would all have to come out, and so would this central section here. And then of course we just put in a few more blocks to make it up. However, we could 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2. Yeah, it doesn't work out, does it? There's no way we can really divide it properly. So I'll have a little look into this. A look into organizing it so that it looks a bit better than it is now, because at the moment it's kind of a mess. So we'll get that sorted out, and then once that's done, we can move on with something else around the area. Essentially, we have two options here. So option A is that we can leave the build as it is right now, as you can see it. Let me just fill in this section here that I didn't see first time round. So as I was saying, option A, we can leave it as it is right now. Or option B, we can try and do something like this. So we could have 1, 2, 3, a gap of 3 there. We could have a gap of 3 here. And then in the middle, simply a gap of 2. So of course, it's slightly off-center, but do I like it? That's the question. Do you guys like it? That's another question. I actually think it looks much better like this. I don't know what you guys think. If you have any opposing opinions, definitely let me know. I think that's the way to go, though, because it kind of looks strange with the 2-block gap in the middle and 3-block gap on the outside. So I think we'll just stick with this. That probably makes the most sense, as it matches this wall over here as well. So now we have something looking a little bit like this, which is kind of cool because you can see into the tree farm and you can kind of see what's going on up there. And now we are almost forced to use our water elevator, which again is kind of another good thing because we did build it and we do want to use it. So, you know, being forced to use it might make us take this path instead of running up there, which in the future, of course, will probably be off limits anyway. So now that we've got that in place, I'm guessing that we could take a look at something else. Just finishing up one of the other smaller tasks in the area, and that is to get this wall finished where we have the chests that hold a few of the essential items for the tree farm. So we're just laying in the last blocks here, and that happens to be the trim, which is the stone slabs going above the build like so. And if we bring ourselves down to level, grab the entities, the block entities, we can just quickly take a look at what we've done. So as you can see, quite standard, quite straightforward, just a regular wall design. Of course, we've implemented a few chests here and there to hold the wood and a few other essential items for the farm, which you guys know about already because we did this quite a while back. But that almost polishes up that side of the wall now. So we have this part here with the chests, we have the huge glass pane right here, and then of course we've just got a little bit of work to do here, and that should be the major walls of the farm sorted out. We just need to decide what we're going to do with this back wall because it's kind of a tough one really, and I'll explain to you why. Because we have this cave, this small cave fixture here that sort of adorns the pond, and it's supposed to be a natural build, so I'm not really sure what we should do. Should we leave the wall looking natural, or should we try and blend it into a design like this? Or is there another design that we could use? Could we even put wooden struts that go from here to the ceiling and just segment this part off and use that for a design and keep the middle plain? I really don't know. We're going to have to make a decision, of course, on that. And I think I do know what I'm going to do already. And I think, actually, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do what I've decided. And that will be to implement wood going from the bottom to the top right here on both sides. Of course, we'll mirror this. If I can grab this one. There we go. So let's just lay in a few of the blocks. So we're going to have wood going all the way up there. In this gap here, we will have probably wood here again, just to signal the end of the row like that. As you can see, this is part of the pattern. And then in this gap here, we will use the regular wall design. In the middle, we'll just implement some more of this stone and stone brick design, I guess. So I'll fill in all of the andesite here and all of the granite there and the diorite with regular stone, and we'll just throw a few bits of stone brick, mossy stone brick, and cracked stone brick to just bring a bit of life to what is otherwise a plain looking wall. The back wall of the tree farm is very near completion. I just need to pick up one more thing, and that is some vines. Because, as you guys know, the cave by the pond has a few vines in it, and I think we should hang some on the wall above it as well. So let's take some over there right this instant. And you can also check out what we've done. So heading down towards the back wall, you can see it's just been cleaned up ever so slightly. This side has got the design in place. We put the wooden pillars in. The middle has got the significantly different design, of course, with the stone brick and the regular stone. However, I think it works. So one more thing I do want to do, as I just mentioned, is to implement some vines into the build. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to plant some stone here, make our way up, make our way out just a little bit, like so. And now we have enough space to go ahead and pop a few vines. So if I just space them out like this, I'm not sure if vines grow to the side or if they just grow down. Not entirely sure. So I'll just plant some and see what happens, I guess. So we'll leave a gap between each one, like so. There we go. I think that'll work well. And then hopefully they'll sort of just grow down and hang over the cave and just make things look a little bit more natural, because that's what I'm going for here. Just a natural style build. So hopefully that'll work out for us. Anyway, there we go. Let's just collect our blocks that have landed in the pond. Perfect. And get on out of here. One last look before we leave, as you can see. Looking good. And actually, let me just quickly explain something as well that I thought about whilst we were building it. So originally, I did go ahead and place some stone slabs up here. So right at the top there in this row between the pillars. But I did remove them because if we come over to the opposing side of the build, where we've began work on the ceiling, you'll see it starts to slope at the edge. And of course, we don't really want to have a row of stone slabs running across. Or maybe we do. I mean, I'm not gonna say that we definitely don't. We might do, but I'm imagining that we won't. So instead, I've just left it like this so that once we put the ceiling in place, we can work out how the design is going to take shape from this point onwards. But for now, it should be fine, and it's looking quite cool. So this is a little bit of a side note, really. Of course, we are over at the small storage area, so there's not going to be any building in the immediate future, for this clip at least. But there's something I've wanted to do for a while now, and that's to create a couple of jukeboxes to go around the base. So if we grab 2 diamonds, I believe this is still the recipe. Haven't built one in a long time, mind you, so I could be wrong. Then we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And I think if you surround a diamond with wood, it will give you a jukebox. Am I right? I'm right. So, as I said, I want to get a couple jukeboxes around the base so that we can play some tunes. Because I do like the music in Minecraft, and we've got a couple of discs, I believe. Here we go. So we got C418 and... oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the band, right? We've got Cat and 13. We've also got Far as well. So we've got 3 different ones here. Far, Cat, and 13, which is nice. So I don't know which one of these is the best. We'll go ahead and stick Far on. Okay, that's interesting. Hold up. Let me try a different one. 13. Okay. That one's not very pleasant. How about Cat? Yeah, that's not too bad. I quite like Cat. It's a nice little tune to have around the base. So, the thinking here is to grab this. Whoa, hold up. Let me turn music down. Jukebox down to probably about 20% would be good. Nope, that's still amazingly loud. 10%? Yeah, that's not as overbearing, I guess. So the plan is maybe to do this. So instead of having this block on the other side of our block switcher, we could have a jukebox. Of course. Of course. Jukeboxes don't work. Great. Is this broken now? Possibly not. Okay, it's broken. Damn it. So we're going to have to find somewhere to put the jukebox. Let me turn this one off a second. I think I want to put one over in a tree farm, maybe. That might be a good idea. Let's take one over there and just have a look. We are going to need to repair the block switcher over there at the small storage. But hopefully that won't be too big a deal. Can't actually remember how I built it. I did follow a tutorial for that. So might have to look that up again. But we could go ahead. We could put it here, I guess. So we've got, if we go with, we had gravel, like that. What goes underneath there? Is it a slab, I guess? I don't really know. We'll put a slab under there. like this. And then we'll have our jukebox like that. And then what went there? Was it cobblestone? I can't even remember. We'll go with cobblestone. It'll work. And then finally, another slab here. So now if we're over in the tree farm, we want a few tunes to cut the trees to. Just pop in cat or whatever we decide to listen to. And off we go for a bit more of a pleasant experience. So that's one of our jukeboxes. Of course, I do want one somewhere near the small storage area. And I was thinking the block switcher was the perfect place for it to go. But apparently you can't move a jukebox with a piston, which I didn't know. So we've broken our block switcher, I think. Let me just try it one more time. Yeah, it's broken because the crafting bench should go away, right? So let's try it again and see what happens. Let's take the crafting bench out maybe. And stick the polished andesite back in. See what happens then. Right, so what is going on? Oops. I don't even know. That's the bad thing. I don't know what's going on here. It should get sucked out, right? Or is it because we don't have another block in there? Maybe if I... Whoops. Maybe if I press the button and place the crafting bench, it'll work. Nope. It still is broken. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try and fix this off camera. And after that, we will move on. The box switcher is fixed. I went ahead and reconstructed it. Put it back in place. And it's all good and ready for use. Which, I mean, I don't really know where I care that much about it. We don't use it all that often, but it's cool. Anyway, as for the jukebox, I'm going to stick it right here for now. This is the placeholder for the jukebox. I'm thinking that maybe in the future when we've spaced out this area and designed it a little bit more cleanly, we might be able to fit it in somewhere around here. So I'm just going to plonk it there for now. And if we want to listen to any tunes, that's where we're going to have to go. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with that for now. But our one over at the tree farm is set in stone, definitely not moving. So we can have a few songs playing whilst we go ahead and harvest some trees. So what are we going to do now is the question. We've finished up that wall at the back. We finished up this wall here. We've just cleaned up the tree farm ever so slightly. We've put the glass pane in, of course. The ceiling is going to be a huge task. And I'm not sure whether we should start working on that right now. We could give it a shot, I guess. It's going to take a while, though. We're definitely not going to finish it in today's episode because of the time constraints of it all. But we could go ahead and get started on it, I guess. So I think the first thing that we should do is probably craft up a few of the blocks required. So let me take a look. Going to need some stone slabs, some stone brick stairs, some iron fences, or some iron gates, whatever they're called. We need some dark oak wood, some stone brick on its own. Yeah, so I've got a good grasp of what we're going to need. Let me get a few of those resources up together, start some work on the ceiling, and then I'll catch up with you guys once we've made a bit of progress. So I think that is as far as we are going to go with the arch for this side of the room. So as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 levels of slope, and each one is obviously one stair. So, yeah, as I said, I think that's all we're going to do for the arch, and then the middle can just join from here to the other side. And on the other side, we're probably going to repeat the same thing. So, let me just quickly take a run along so that you can see what we've done and the design that we have came up with. You already know what it is, really. I've just extended it out a couple more blocks. So I think before we end the video, we'll try and replicate this on the other side of the room. And then once we've done that, we can wrap things up. But there is something that I'm kind of worried about, is that a couple of times when I come into the tree farm, as you can see, there's some rotten flesh right there. There's a few mobs hanging around, so I've seen creepers. I just had a zombie in here. I don't know where they're spawning, but we do need to be a little bit careful of that. Could be around here. It looked kind of dark there. I don't know for sure, though, so we're going to have to keep our eye on that, because, of course, this is one of the more dangerous places for a creeper to spawn, because it's made out of a lot of dirt. And dirt tends to blow when the creepers blow. So, of course, if they did happen to explode here, we'd probably have a cleanup on our hands. Alright, you guys, so welcome back to the video for probably the last time today. As you can see, the left side of the ceiling of the dark oak tree farm is now in place. So, in the coming episodes, we can hopefully join both of the sides together to create something quite cool. It's going to be quite the grand room once we're done. As you can see, the ceiling is going to be quite tall. I don't know how many blocks it is in total. Let's quickly check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's about 13 blocks high. 13 and a half if you include this segment here where the path is lowered by half a block. So it's going to look pretty good, I think, when it's done. So, as I said, that is going to be all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw in this video. If you did, then be sure to drop a like down below. That will help the channel out and helps me to gauge the sort of reaction I'm getting from you guys. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback, anything in general that you want to say to me, drop those down in the comment section below because I love to read comments and respond to them. And you are guaranteed a response at this time. So definitely do that if you are interested. And finally, if you're new around here and you want to see more of this, more of what I have to offer, then make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned to this series and any other series that I decide to post. Once again, you guys, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to come and watch my video. It is hugely appreciated by myself. Make sure to take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.